All right, so it's been a few weeks. I'm going to show you some old clips. As you can see, the new wall is completed. So you're going to see a couple of old clips here, and then I'm going to cut back to where I am now. All right, so I'm going to show you a little bit of my method here. As you can see, I got the laser level set up. It's casting a perfectly level line all the way around. A little bit hard to see on camera. I can see it okay here with my not daylight. I can see it here okay. That's what I'm getting at. So all you do with this, and this is one I've already done obviously because it's got a stud in it, is you measure down. Okay, I'm glad I double checked that because it changed. And you measure, you see what the number is. So that's 37 15/16. Let me double check this one over here. If I get my damn tape to stay up. Hang on a second. Yeah, see, same thing. 37 15/16. So now we're gonna go over here to the one we're about to jack. We've got 36.5. So what that means is that our point of measurement, which is in this case the joist, is closer to the laser beam, which means since we're measuring from the beam up, that the joist is lower than those ones over there. I.e., I need to jack this up an 1 7/16 to make it level with those ones over there. So this is my setup here. Just got a bunch of random blocks there. Whatever you're doing, make sure it's solid. Yeah, that battle jack is probably the most important part here, is the piece of plate between the battle jack and the, I like a 6x6 just because they're big. Like I said, whatever you're doing, make sure it's solid. And jack away until it's the height that you want it. Okay, so here I am. I usually go about 1/4 inch beyond my measurement. As you can see, I added a little strap on that joint there. It was flexing a little too much for my liking. Typically, I would have moved this closer to the stud I was going to add, but I'm kind of, this is all so close, I'm kind of trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here if I can. I don't know if I'll get that one out of it too or not. We'll see. Not so much jack stroke it took overall. I don't know, 5 inches maybe by the time I compressed everything. I find that with this setup, there is an extremely small amount of settlage. So what I'm going to do right now is measure down to my sill plate from my top plate as it sits. I'm going to subtract 1/4 inch because obviously, like I said, I went 1/4 inch beyond my measurement. So I'm going to measure that, subtract 1/4 inch, put my stud in, and let the jack off. Okay, pressure's off. Here's my tape. And there it is, within a 32nd of what I was aiming for. You are never going to get this perfect. That stud there is about an 1/8 inch out. And I'm not very happy about it, but it is what it is. Get them as close as you can. And I mean, when I say this was out of level, these couple of joists here were totally rotted off of this end, and we're hanging down 6 to 7 inches, maybe more. So to have them where they are now is huge for me, and it's going to be the start of a new solid structure that I can put a roof on and have it last and be a good space to work in. So as you can see, the new wall is now completed. I'm extremely happy with how it turned out. I'm not exactly done yet. I'll get to that in a second. You can see my bench has changed here. I used to have 45-degree legs on this section. This section wasn't here, so I added this 5 or so feet. I don't remember exactly. Also under there, I put 3 legs, I'm sorry. It's all screwed to the wall. I'm building this shelf underneath. I gotta get a piece of OSB for that. So yeah, the bench is quite a bit modified. Over here, I've got a couple holes drilled for my bench grinder. I gotta bolt that down. And over here, I've got a vise. It's at my dad's house. I'm gonna put a vise in over here. I'm gonna reinforce this. This isn't gonna be the leg that's there. I'm gonna do something out of steel. I'm trying not to hang shit up on here, even though, I've screwed into the studs and hung up a couple of welding hoods and a tool belt and stuff. I'm trying not to fill this wall up with junk yet. What I'm gonna do is about where that light is, all the way over, is gonna be insulated. And the reason I'm gonna do that is because here I'm going to put a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and I'm going to have hardware bins, and up top I'm going to have a shelf. So about maybe here or so there'll be a shelf, and behind the stove over here, see, actually I got a fire going in there. Don't look at my chimney, it's not proper. I will show you here in a second. Behind the stove, I'm going to get corrugated roof metal, galvanized, the shiny shit, and they come in 8-foot sections. I'm going to lay them sideways, so they're, I think, 8 foot and I think 3 foot wide, so probably have 3 of them on there. And I'm hoping, what my hope is with that is it'll help reflect the heat into the garage, rather than just staying in this corner here. Eventually I might do something over here too. I might insulate the rest of this and whatnot, but that's not priority. So the old wall is torn down. I'll show you that here in a second. Okay, so here's the old wall. These 2 sections, they still got some old license plates in them I gotta get out. I'll show you some of the old plates I got out too of the rest of the wall. And here's the exterior. 7/16 OSB. Mostly because it's almost $20 a sheet cheaper than the next cheapest shit. This is going for about 15 bucks a sheet right now. It's September 2022. I did not cut the sidewalls back yet, but I mean, look how bad that roof is. It's terrible. So that's why the original wall failed. And I talked about the electric service a little bit in the last video. See, I've got You got an LB stuck to the wall there with it goes through, and then there's another LB on the outside going down, so that'll go into the ground. And the panel will be right about here. And then from there, I think I'm gonna do conduit with THHN wire for most of my circuits. The lights and stuff I'll probably leave alone, but I intend to have one outlet circuit just for the bench. So that'll come over, that'll feed my bench grinder. I'll have well, most of my outlets will be underneath, I think. Just because if they're on top, they tend to get grinding material and stuff in them. And the reason I'm comfortable mounting them to the bench is because it's a fixed bench. It's permanent. I'd have to, you know, unscrew it from the bits. It's part of the building, basically, is what I'm getting at. So, and I'm gonna have a welding outlet over here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where. Probably in that area. Yeah, just show you what I did with my chimney. It's not. I don't have. It's all just single wall pipe. Piece of cement board there, and it's going. I just ripped part of the roof out of the way. And eventually I'll get the right stuff. I got fire insulation that I'm gonna wrap around it before I call it good. So that's just kind of a general update on where I'm at with this thing. As far as this wall goes, I still got my string line up here. The thing is it's all within an 1/8 inch of being perfectly straight. You know, from one end to the other, it's all almost exactly perfectly straight. The studs are all perfectly level, plumb. So I'm really happy with how it came out. If you've got any questions, feel free to post them in the comments, how I did things, how I'm gonna do things. Tell me I'm an idiot. I'm sure some of you will. And I hope you keep watching for next time.